So, Facebook has officially suspended Libs of TikTok. So, Big Tech is at it again. Now, guys, really quick, this video right here was not planned. As a matter of fact, the video that I had about the Democrats' nuclear problem going forward was originally planned to come out today. I may be releasing it tomorrow, or it may be getting released on Saturday. I'm not sure yet. The reason why is because we got something going on over here in my neck of the woods, and quite frankly, I may be off the tube for about a day or two, or I may even release it tonight if I get the time, which, by the way, will be a late night, which, by the way, I do want to start releasing content then. But let's talk about Libs of TikTok. So, many of you guys may already know that Libs of TikTok is basically a Twitter page, Facebook page, that's got over 1 million followers, and of course they share the stuff that we're not seeing in the classrooms. We're seeing teachers, we're seeing all this woke crap that's coming from these people here. Libs of TikTok recently shared a story about a drag queen stealing money from a patron. Don't worry, we'll probably feature that right there in another video, which of course we're going to be doing more stuff on this. By the way, I just released a video earlier about a girl exposing the LGBTQ agenda. I can't say the full word, especially within the first 2 minutes. But this right here is just another example of big tech going absolutely crazy. Now, guys, I don't think it's going to take that much longer for somebody to actually suspend them, as in like Twitter. By the way, you have First Amendment rights in this country, and of course libertarians will come in here and say, well, it's a private freaking company. Yeah. Libertarians obviously choose arguments that suit them whenever they feel it. But don't worry, we may do another video at a later date on that right there. But also something else too, and of course they also exposed a drag queen show in California. Of course, kids are being exposed to this crap, and quite frankly, kids should not be getting exposed to this. But here's the thing, though. Most people are saying that the reason why they've been suspended is over this Boston medical piece, or this Boston Medical Center piece, which, by the way, I am about to roll you right now.
They're transgender from the moment that they have any ability to express themselves, and parents will often tell us this. We have parents who tell us that their kids, they knew from the minute they were born practically, and actions like refusing to get a haircut or standing to urinate, trying to stand to urinate, refusing to stand to urinate, trying on siblings' clothing, playing with the, quote, opposite gender toys.
Is very similar to most hysterectomies that occur. A hysterectomy itself is the removal of the uterus, the cervix, which is the opening of the uterus, and the fallopian tubes, which are attached to the sides of the uterus. Some gender-affirming hysterectomies will also include the removal of the ovaries, but that's technically a separate procedure called a bilateral oophorectomy. And not every gender-affirming hysterectomy includes that, and people who are getting gender-affirming hysterectomies do not have to have their ovaries removed.
Sorry, I meant to say roll for you. Now, guys, I talked in the previous video about how it is that they're coming for your kids, and they are in fact coming for your kids. Don't worry, I will leave that video in the description box or the actual comment section of this video right here, so that way you guys can check it out. But here's the thing, guys. Kids are kids. Babies are babies. They don't know, okay? They don't actually know who they are until they get older. You see, me personally, I'm not in favor of any puberty blockers being given to kids at all. I think a child needs to at least grow up and be at least 18 or 19 years old, or at least when the parents have actual consent, which, by the way, the legal age for adults is generally accepted to be 18 years old. But I think that you should allow a child to actually grow up and actually mature a little bit first before they figure this stuff out. Nobody knows whether their child is trans when they're freaking inside the damn womb. By the way, I had to get that particular clip from the Daily Wire, which of course I still use the Daily Wire for references. I just don't care too much for their personalities because I think they're all controlled opposites. That's another comment for that may even be a project at a later date. But here's the thing, though. Kids do not know what, by the way, gender is not a social construct. It's just a term that was used by a guy named John Money. I'll leave a link in the description box. The entire story about that is absolutely sick and horrifying. It involved a pair of twins, and one of the boys had a botched, let's just say it was a botched circumcision, and they kind of dressed the kid up as a little girl, made him believe that he was actually a girl, and of course one of the brothers would die, and this one here in particular would eventually commit suicide. By the way, we have to harp on this every time. LGBTQ suicide rate, okay? It's almost like you're telling these kids to actually go out there and kill themselves when they're a very, very young age. I know I could get banned for that right there, but it needs to be said. Parents need to stop giving into this crap. Your child does not know whether that child is the opposite sex or not at 2 years old. They don't know that at 3 years old. By the way, guys, And while I had to take a hit on the cigarette quick. Kids oftentimes do things like wear dresses, or oftentimes like put on their siblings' clothes or whatnot. Now, me personally, and I can think of many family members, I don't think that we ever did that because we were raised a little bit different, but I've heard stories of little boys when they were like 5 years old putting like their older sister's dress on, stuff like that right there, just to have fun or whatnot, maybe a little bit of confusion. Kids are innocent. You need to allow them to actually learn things on their own. So in no way, shape, or form is a child who, by the way, is 11 years old going to know for sure if that child is born in the wrong body per se. Now, if they actually have honest to God gender dysphoria, you need to actually take the time to actually help your child work that out. Now, here's the thing. If a person becomes trans at a later date, allow that individual to become trans when they are like an actual adult. Don't give them puberty blockers. Don't go in there and cut their junk off, which, by the way, there's been a lot of very, very bad side effects. I highly advise you guys go watch that that thing, What Is a Woman? Even though I don't really care for Daily Wire's personalities, they did hit a home run with that one there. Even though Matt Walsh, for whatever reason, chose not to include God in it and the actual biblical definition, but it is what it is. I'm not going to harp too much on that. Guys, the thing is this right here, and I know this is going to sound very repetitive, but kids are, in fact, kids, okay? Allow them to be kids. Allow them to discover things. These kids at 5, 6, 7 years old do not need to be hearing about this whole gender crap. They don't need to be hearing about this whole gender ideology crap when they're out there inside of a freaking sandbox. They don't need to be hearing this when they're learning Pop Warner baseball. They don't need to be hearing this crap. They don't need to be getting taught this crap when they, quite frankly, ain't even out of diapers yet. Yes, there are some parents out there who don't potty train their kids until like 3 and 4 years old. I'm just simply saying that they don't know themselves what the deal is. They are simply kids. Their minds have not actually developed. And there's even been scientific studies that have proven that a child, once they get to a certain age, they begin to actually grow out of it, and they begin to actually change their minds, trying to change their minds. That is the reason why it is so important to allow a child to grow. Yes, you need to raise the child. You need to discipline the child. You need to also create a good environment for that child. You need to teach that child certain things. However, gender ideology and critical race theory and critical queer theory is not the thing that a 5-year-old needs to be learning. And here is where I'm going to close this video at. Now, guys, big tech doing this, I'm not surprised by this. At some point in time, I had a feeling that Libs of TikTok would eventually get popped, at least by Facebook. I'm guessing Twitter is next. But here's the thing, though. You got Truth Social, you got Getter, you got Gab, you got Parler, you got all these other social media sites that you can go to. Conservatives are actually building a brand new culture adjacent to actual liberal culture. But then again, they're knowing libs because they are extremely insufferable and they've got to live their life on the misery of others. They always make things 10 times worse than what they already are. It's just how they operate. They just live. They live to make your life absolutely miserable. We'll just go ahead and say that now. But here's the thing. They are creating brand new cultures. As I said in the previous video about Nickelodeon and all these channels throwing this wokeness crap, this whole map crap right in your face, this LGBTQ agenda, go ahead and learn to start doing without certain things. Now, guys, this is not open boycott. I have talked about boycotts before. Boycotts do not actually work. Open ones do not work. It makes the product that you're boycotting somewhat rare. I have stated on multiple occasions that the best thing you can do is just simply quietly unsubscribe or quietly walk away. The reason why is because when said company, like say Disney, for example, like when I advise people, by the way, Daily Wire just hired somebody from Disney. I have no idea why they did that. May even do a video on that later date. The thing is this right here, guys. When you quietly dismiss the company, when you quietly dismiss those people there, what eventually happens is that they lose business. They lose money. They lose followers. After a while, they eventually come to you and ask you the question, so what the hell was it that actually made you leave? Well, you constantly throwing gender ideology, pansexual, bisexual, gorgeosexual, tommysexual, I don't know what the fuck kind of sexual they throw, in my face all the time made me simply unsubscribe, and you simply lost my business. Okay, if you want my business back, which I highly doubt you'll get, I highly suggest you guys change. This forces companies to actually do that. Now, guys, Twitter and big tech, I don't think that it's going to get fixed anytime soon. You see, right now they're still wrapped up with the Elon Musk stuff. Okay, they're still actually wrapped up in court about that, but I am expecting some things to come out. Anybody who expected him to come in and actually fix things, and I know that I did a couple of videos on that, was probably fooling themselves. Now, as far as Facebook is concerned, it's kind of a shocker to me to a certain degree. I know it took me a while to get to this, but the thing about Facebook is that Facebook is typically tends to be the site that conservatives go to the most, whereas Twitter is the site that liberals go to the most. I'm not saying that people are going to unsubscribe from Facebook, but after a while, when you've got Gab, when you've got Parler, when you've got Truth Social, when you've got all these other platforms, when they improve and more, and those platforms get bigger, after time, maybe a year or two, after a while, people are no longer going to be paying attention to the liberal platforms or the platforms that are actually controlled and bought. Now, guys, I know this video has gone a little bit longer than I intended it to go, but I made the statement in the previous video when they talked about the pedophilia pride flag. When I typed in the information into Google, I kept getting results that were taking me away from that. Okay, I only use like two screenshots, but I'm just giving you more examples right here of what I mean. They're censoring the information, okay? And censoring Libs of TikTok is kind of sort of how they're going to try to do it. So there will be a video, I want to end it right here. There will be a video out either this weekend on why is it we fight the culture war, also the one about Democrats' major problem. I just want to go ahead and end the video on that note right there. Or it may be out tonight. I may be just throwing stuff out there. Guys, John Claymore, if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign up in the comment section. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and get to 1,000 subscribers for the end of the year. Let's go ahead and get monetized. Let's go ahead and get these videos out here so that way they'll take off in the algorithm. And also leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later.